If you guys haven't known like which Christmas books to start, don't worry, I've got you covered. I'm gonna be sharing with you guys a ton of Christmas books today that are gonna get you in the spirit of like reading, but they're gonna be like coinciding with movies that you know and love. So if you've really had a hard time figuring out like which Christmas book you need to start, what you should buy, if you have some of these on your TBR and you just like literally don't know where to go or what to do, I'm gonna share all these books and let you guys kind of get a vibe of like what each book is about based on like a movie that reminds me of the book. Some of these I have shared and some of these books I have not shared. These are all Christmas books and these are all Christmas books that I have read. So yeah, let's get into this video and I hope you guys enjoy. Falling for Christmas by Lindsay Lohan, or with Lindsay Lohan on Netflix, is a movie that I feel like reminds me so much of this book. Now, a lot of the books I'm going to be sharing, they don't have like a similar trope, but they have a similar vibe. So I hope this like really helps you guys decide like what Christmas books to read or to buy. And the book it reminds me of is 'Tis the Season for Revenge by Morgan Elizabeth. This book is like that type of, I don't even know how to explain it, like a rich girl. She kind of is like figuring out life but doesn't really know how to do very much. And in this book, Abby, she's dating this guy Richard who's like super rich and they've been together forever, and she's like expecting for him to get down on one knee and propose, and he does not do that. And so she decides after he like breaks up with her that she's gonna date this other guy who's also like rich, and he's going to this Christmas party and she's gonna date him to make her ex-boyfriend jealous. Now within that, she really learns like the true meaning of Christmas, and she learns like that, I don't know, you can't base someone's value off of like all these material things. And it reminds me a lot of the movie that Lindsay Lohan was in, because she's like a big city girl who's going to like this small town, and she's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know like who to talk to because I always have people do things for me, and like she's kind of like rude, and I don't know, it just literally gives this vibe. It's very much fluffy, fun. I will say that this book is spicy and the movie with Lindsay Lohan is not spicy, so keep that in mind if you pick this one. I think everyone and their mother has watched The Holiday. It is such a good Christmas classic, and so if you're wanting to find a Christmas book that is going to be around like for years to come and is going to really stand the test of time and gives you that classic feel, not that like, you know, fluffy is here today, gone tomorrow type of like book. It's just like a book that's really gonna like kind of hit home and you're gonna want to read again and again. I would really recommend One Day in December by Josie Silver. This is one of my favorite Christmas books, and I remember when I read it, it was a book that I just couldn't stop thinking about, and I think it's because it's set over 10 years. And this author actually just came out with a new book, but the new book is like more of a rom-com feel, and this gives more of like that classic feel. But it's like super fun to read. So if you're not like a big classics girl, like don't feel like it's like a classic. Like it's not like, you know, Little Women or something like that, but it just has a very classic feel to it, something that's like very timeless. And it's about a girl who sees this guy on a bus, and they kind of make eye contact, and then he just like, you know, keeps going off, because I think they were going on 2 separate buses, and she's like, dude, that is my soon-to-be future husband. Like, I need to find him. I know we're meant to be. Like, this is love at first sight. So for a full year, she like looks for him, and she thinks that he's like going to be her forever. Well, a year later, she goes to a Christmas party, and when she's at the Christmas party, she'd been telling her best friend like the whole year that she's been looking for this guy and she can't find him. So she goes to the Christmas party, and her best friend's like, I want you to meet my boyfriend. Comes to find out that the guy is the guy that was from the bus, like her friend's boyfriend. So she has to pretend that it's not the guy that she's been looking for, and she still is like so smitten by him, and she's like, does he remember me? I don't know. So this whole book spans over 10 years, and they date for a while, and like it's just, you know, seeing your best friend date someone that you like want to be with, like, can you imagine the drama of that? It's very realistic, and I really love it. On the back, it literally says 2 people, 10 chances, 1 unforgettable love story. And it literally is unforgettable. So this is a book I would definitely recommend. I love how it was set over 10 years. It felt so real. Talks a lot about friendships, love, like finding yourself and finding your way. It is just such a good book. Another Christmas movie that gives a classic feel that I feel like people talk about and watch again and again is Love Actually, and it reminds me of how important it is to have those movies movies that like you want to continue to watch. And I feel like In Holidays by Christina Lauren is a book that I'll probably want to read like again and again because it gives that same like similar classic feel. This one's a little bit different though. It says on the back, one Christmas wish, two brothers, and a lifetime of hope are on the line. And this is a book that like is a replay of a night over and over again, and I found myself just like being like, I want her to make the right decision because she keeps being in this loop and she doesn't know like which brother she should be with or like who she should try like go for, because she's always kind of been interested in one specific person. It's a good one. It's like a classic that I would definitely recommend. If you like Medea Christmas, that is a movie that is just such a funny Christmas movie that I love watching. And I feel like if you like that movie, you're gonna really like this book because it is also super funny. It is called Baggage Claim by Juliana Smith. I read this one last year and I really liked it, and I feel like it was one of my top Christmas books because it was just like really funny. So it's about Olivia Moore, and she's been avoiding her hometown for years because she just is like, I cannot go back there. But her mom is like, please come back. You haven't been back in years. So she's like, you know what? Whatever, we're gonna do it. And she goes back and she lets it slip that she's gonna be bringing her boyfriend, but she literally doesn't have a boyfriend. And on the plane ride back, while she is just like so stressed, she's like, I don't have a boyfriend, gets to talking to this guy who's going to the same place as her, and he's like, you know what, I'll be your fake boyfriend. And it is so funny. There are so many mishaps, and it is also a very cute story. I really like this one because obviously there's fake dating in it, and it's like Christmassy, funny. They do all these like little dates together with like her and her family and him, and it is just like, you will find yourself laughing so much. And this gives that like funny rom-com, like laughable vibe. If you like a book that is similar to like a Christmassy Hallmark type of movie, you should definitely read this book. It's called Love Light Farms. This is the book that I feel like so many people have talked about, and it literally gives like just the squishiest, happiest, fluffy Christmas vibes. And it is about a girl named, I literally don't even remember her name, literally can't even remember her name, but she ends up entering this contest to get a ton of money for this Christmas tree farm. And she says that she thinks the Christmas tree farm would be a great place for a romantic destination because she has like such a great relationship with her boyfriend, and like they love the Christmas tree farm and so forth. And goes on, and she ends up getting to like either a finalist or like winning the contest or something, but she literally lied because she doesn't have a boyfriend. And so the influencer who's like running the contest is like, hey, I'm gonna come to your Christmas tree farm. Can't wait to meet you and your boyfriend. It's gonna be so great. And she's like, oh my gosh, I literally don't have a boyfriend. So she ends up asking her best friend, Luca, to fake date her. And this story is just like, it's just full of like sweet, sweet vibes. So I think that if you like a really gushy, mushy, friends to lovers, like, I don't know, fun Hallmark movie type of vibe, I think you will really like this book. And again, this is a book that I feel like so many people talk about. So you'll be able to talk about a book that lots of people have also read. All the other books I either read like last year or early this year, but this book I actually just finished reading, and it's called Merry Inkmas. And this book reminds me a lot of the movie This Christmas that has like Chris Brown and stuff in it. And it reminds me of that because This Christmas has so many like side stories, but it also has just like a ton of depth. And I don't think that this has like a ton of side stories in it, but I do think that there's so much more depth in this book than meets the eye, and I really enjoyed it. I feel like there's so many like themes that you could run off into, like themes about helping people in need, and themes about family and working through your own trauma, and it is just really good. So Cash Evans is a tattoo artist, and he has kind of like had a little crush on this barista who works like next door, but she ends up getting fired, and so he hires her on to work under him because obviously he's the boss. But she's kind of geeky, quirky, like fluffy fun, so cute, and they're like just a totally different vibe. So he ends up having feelings for her, and she kind of starts to have like a thing for him, but he's just like, I don't know if I can get involved with this person because obviously she has, you know, this bubbly, fun personality, which I'm not like that, but also I have a lot of trauma. and he just like, I don't know, overthinks a lot to be honest. So a lot of this book I feel like reminds me of that movie because there are so many deep themes in it, and there's also like a deeper meaning behind the fun, and I really enjoy this for a Christmas book. If you love Dash and Lily, I feel like you will love The Holiday Switch. Now, Dash and Lily, I think, is a TV show, so it's the only one that's like not a movie, but I feel like it still gives the vibes of this book. This book is just so cute. Like, it's so cute, and also the characters are young, which I feel like gives the vibe in Dash and Lily. I definitely want to watch that over again because it's such a cute show. But this is really good. It's about Lila, who she's trying to like save up money for school, and she ends up working at this bookstore. It's like a holiday bookstore, and while she's working there in this small town in Holly, New York, this guy, he ends up working there, and he is the, I think, nephew or cousin of the bookstore owner. She just can't stand him. She's like, he is so annoying, and like, I just wish I didn't have to talk to him. And then they end up switching phones by accident, and she learns all of his secrets and he learns all of hers, and they obviously don't really like each other. And she's like, can you please keep these secrets? Like, it just will be a terrible Christmas if you don't. And so the whole book is about that. Like, will they keep each other's secrets? You don't know. It just is really good. And of course, there's like a little budding romance in it, and it just gives like the fun Christmassy vibes that I feel like Dash and Lily gives. Anything by Tessa Bailey reminds me of this movie, and I think it's called, what is it called? Last Christmas, I think. Obviously you guys can see on screen like what it's called because I have like a picture, but The Night Before, and that is a very adult Christmas book, which is why it reminds me of this one, and it's called Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. I ate this book up, absolutely ate it up, and I think I liked it so much because it is a Christmas story that has like a really cool theme throughout. So this girl, it's 2 weeks before Christmas, and the windows are decorated outside of this little clothing store. This woman walks up to the front of the store and is looking at it, and this guy is like, so what do you think? And she's like, this actually looks terrible. Like, this window decoration does not make me want to come into this store. And the guy she is talking to happens to be like the owner of the store. So he ends up hiring her to work there, but he starts to have feelings for her, and he's the boss. Obviously she works under him. He's like way high up, and she kind of comes from nothing. And the reason that this gives me like adult vibes is because there is so much spice in this book. Like, you guys know I'm not a big spice girly, but like this spice I did enjoy, and it was a lot, but it wasn't like the whole book. Like, there was an actual good plot to the story, which I enjoyed, and I think this is the perfect Christmas book for someone who's looking for like a more adult type of book, if you're looking for that, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's definitely a spicy read, but it was really fun nonetheless. So that is all 8 Christmas books and the vibes that they give me from the Christmas movies that I shared. Now, if you guys haven't read these books, I hope that I gave you a good idea of what the books are about and like what you can really expect from each one. I feel like it's so hard to like decide which Christmas book to start when there's so many good ones and there's so many good plots, and you just don't know if you're gonna like it. And I feel like if you have really been trying to decide, hopefully this video really helps. So I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next one. Bye guys!